Hello, fellow aficionados. Have you ever felt stuck in a cycle of emotional attachment that leaves you exhausted and helpless? The good news is that you can change this, and it's easier than you might think. Inspired by the wisdom of Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, we'll explore how to practice emotional detachment and free yourself from these burdens. In this video, we'll dive into Stoicism and provide practical tips to help you manage emotional attachments that cloud your judgment. Get ready for a journey toward emotional freedom, clarity, and focusing on what really matters. If you're interested in personal growth and emotional independence, you're in the right place. Make sure to subscribe to Stoic Philosopher Insights and turn on notifications so you don't miss any content that can help you on this path. Let's get started. Number 1. The strength of letting go. Are you looking for relief from emotional stress? Discover the transformative power of detachment through Stoicism, an ancient philosophy with timeless insights. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them." In Stoicism, detachment isn't about withdrawing from the world, but gaining clarity and focus to navigate life's challenges. Imagine holding several kites in a storm. Each kite is an emotional attachment that can throw us off course. Detachment helps us manage these ties, not by abandoning what we care about, but by accepting life's impermanence and unpredictability. This approach helps us focus on what really matters: our responses, emotions, and decisions. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher, reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The journey of detachment starts with introspection, identifying where we're overly attached. We ask ourselves, why does this have such power over me? Often these attachments stem from fears, insecurities, or a need for external approval. Facing these truths is tough but essential for growth. This self-reflection aligns with the Stoic idea of focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we can't. Detachment also means finding joy in activities that bring intrinsic satisfaction, regardless of external rewards. Enjoying hobbies, pursuing personal projects, or simply appreciating nature fosters contentment and supports living in the present moment. In our fast-paced world, Stoic principles can help us handle emotional challenges. By detaching from what we can't control, we find freedom and resilience. This mindset allows us to focus on what we can control, promoting peace and inner freedom. Detachment isn't about disengaging from life, but engaging with it more fully, with clarity and purpose. It's about living true to our values, free from the burden of external attachments. By embracing detachment, you can better handle life's ups and downs, focusing on what truly matters. This Stoic practice doesn't mean avoiding love or joy, but understanding their temporary nature and finding strength within yourself. Use these principles to guide you toward a calmer and stronger life. Number 2. Grasping the concept of attachment. As human beings, we have the capacity for immense love and deep connections. However, as we navigate life, our ego begins to influence our experiences. While the ego is crucial for our individuality, it often oversteps its bounds, creating attachments that cloud our perception and judgment. These attachments distance us from our inherent essence of love. Our ego-driven attachments seek external validation and security, tying our identity to unstable things, people, statuses that are inherently fleeting. Why do we cling to these illusions? These attachments often stem from deep-seated insecurities and fears, forming a fragile shield to protect our vulnerable inner selves. Recognizing these attachments as products of the ego is the first step toward freeing ourselves from their burdens. This awareness helps us return to our true nature, rooted in love. Shifting from an ego-driven perspective to one centered on love involves changing how we view personal value and identity. Instead of seeking approval and security externally, we cultivate self-esteem and self-love that remain strong regardless of outside influences. This shift is liberating, allowing us to let go of fear-based attachments and embrace a life of freedom, abundance, and unconditional love. Imagine life as a journey across a vast ocean. Attachments act as anchors, tethering us to fleeting islands, while a love-centered perspective provides sails that let us explore life's infinite possibilities. This freedom, achieved by releasing fear-based attachments, feels like soaring above the ego's limitations toward endless opportunities. Take Emily's story, for example. Deeply attached to her family's approval and driven by her ego's need for validation, she lived a life misaligned with her true desires. Through self-reflection, she realized her identity shouldn't depend on her family's opinions. By cultivating self-love and shifting her perspective, Emily detached emotionally, pursued her passions, and found a more fulfilling life. How can you, like Emily, start to recognize and release the attachments holding you back? What internal insecurities might be fueling these attachments, and how can you nurture self-love to address them? Understanding attachment means recognizing the ego's role in creating false security and finding our way back to our core of love. The key takeaway is to cultivate a sense of self-worth independent of external factors, enabling us to embrace freedom and explore life's potential without the weight of unnecessary attachments. Number 3. The deception of the ego. Navigating the ego's complexities can feel like wandering through a maze of distorted mirrors and deceptive shadows. This aspect of our consciousness is intricate and can easily trap us in illusions. These illusions can make us feel inadequate, needy, or envious, leading us to form unhealthy emotional attachments and seek external validation that never truly satisfies us, only deepening our internal void. Have you ever felt that yearning, only to find it never brings lasting fulfillment? The real struggle isn't with the ego itself, but with the illusions it creates. It's about recognizing and confronting the shadows that confine us. Success lies not in denial or resistance, but in acceptance and understanding. These internal voices of doubt and comparison are merely phantoms, powerless except for the influence we grant them. When we realize this, we can start to free ourselves from their grip. Imagine the freedom that comes with such realization. Building self-confidence and healing our inner wounds isn't about isolation or self-importance, but about reconnecting with our essence. It reminds us that at our core, we are complete and whole. Each person's journey is unique, and each step reflects their inner truth. Emotional detachment, especially in relationships, acknowledges this completeness. It's not about renouncing love or connection, but about embracing our inner fullness, independent of others' presence or approval. Do you agree that such inner fulfillment can be liberating? This detachment opens us to the universe's abundance, showing that emotional strength comes from balance, equality, and a shared understanding rather than possession or control over others. Every person we encounter plays a crucial role in our journey. True emotional strength flourishes where self-knowledge and empathy intersect, rooted in the understanding that we are both solitary navigators and part of a vast, interconnected network of relationships. Reflecting on Stoic teachings like Marcus Aurelius's "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength emphasizes the importance of focusing inward. When overwhelmed by emotions or entangled in unhealthy relationships, how often do you pause to reflect on your internal state rather than external circumstances? Recognizing our inner strength and embracing our completeness allows us to detach from unhealthy emotional ties. Detachment doesn't mean we stop caring about others. It means we stop letting their opinions or actions dictate our worth or happiness. How might your relationships change if you stopped relying on others for validation? Imagine navigating life's challenges with a sense of inner peace and strength, unaffected by external events or others' actions. When we focus inward, understanding our worth and cultivating empathy, we find a stronger foundation for meaningful connections. How can you cultivate this inner strength in your own life? The journey of emotional detachment, especially from family members or close relationships, is challenging yet rewarding. It requires self-reflection, empathy, and a deep understanding of our intrinsic worth. What positive changes might you experience in your relationships and overall well-being if you embraced this journey? Have you ever had to practice emotional detachment from someone close to you? Share your experience in the comments. Number 4. The journey to happiness. The path to happiness is often misunderstood. We frequently think that joy comes from distant places, the company of others, or accumulating material possessions. However, true happiness, the kind that endures through life's challenges and thrives within our hearts, comes from a closer, deeper place, our inner self. This genuine happiness is built on self-confidence and a personal journey of self-improvement. It's not a fixed structure imposed from outside, but a continuously evolving masterpiece shaped by introspection, a desire for growth, and the ability to appreciate our own transformations. When we talk about emotional detachment, especially with family, it's important to understand that it doesn't mean severing ties or isolating ourselves. Instead, it involves fostering a deeper and more sincere connection with ourselves. It's about recognizing that our intrinsic value doesn't depend on others' approval or presence. This realization is liberating. It signifies self-love that makes us feel complete within ourselves, regardless of external circumstances. By embracing Stoic principles, focusing on what we can control and accepting what we cannot, we cultivate a resilient source of happiness. This happiness isn't fragile or conditional. It's sustained not by external validation, but by our continuous growth and deepening self-awareness. Consider the story of James, a young professional who constantly sought his father's approval. Despite his achievements, he felt unfulfilled because his father was always critical. Through Stoicism, James learned to focus on what he could control, his actions and responses. He realized he couldn't change his father's behavior, but he could change his perspective. By practicing self-reflection and focusing on his own growth, James developed inner peace and confidence that brought him joy. This transformation led him to accept that his happiness was no longer tied to his father's approval. Have you ever felt that your happiness depended on someone else's opinion? How might focusing on your own growth and self-worth change that? This path, while challenging, leads to a life rich in meaning and fulfillment. When we nurture our personal growth, our lives become works of art, not because they are perfect or free from adversity, but because they are authentic. We open ourselves to the beauty of the world and the contributions of others, yet we don't rely on these elements for our sense of worth or happiness. Instead, we find joy within ourselves. In conclusion, the key lesson is that true happiness is an inner journey, not an outward quest. By focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we can't, we build a resilient, self-sustaining happiness. This happiness, rooted in self-love and personal growth, is not fragile or conditional, but rather robust and capable of withstanding life's challenges while embracing its joys. Number 5. Control and influence. Navigating emotional detachment can be challenging for men aged 30 to 65, especially when dealing with the complexities of family emotions and situations. But what if there was a way to handle these challenges with clarity and strength? The wisdom of Stoicism, particularly from figures like Marcus Aurelius, provides such guidance. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and philosopher, emphasized a key truth about distinguishing between what we can control and what lies beyond our influence. As Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, said, "It's not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters." Have you ever considered the power of recognizing the difference between our own actions, thoughts, and emotions, and those of others? Imagine the freedom that comes from understanding that we are in charge of our inner world, while the external world follows its own course. This goes beyond simple detachment. It's an invitation to focus on self-improvement. Rather than wasting energy on things beyond our control, Stoicism encourages us to build a resilient inner strength that withstands life's emotional storms. By taking charge of how we navigate our thoughts and feelings, we create a balanced and serene life, free from the influence of external factors. The important question is, where are we directing our energies? Are we trying to control the uncontrollable, or are we creating a sanctuary of peace within ourselves? Reflecting on this can guide us toward greater self-awareness and tranquility. Number 6. The journey to insight. As we journey together toward emotional balance, It's worth considering the timeless wisdom of the Stoics, especially Marcus Aurelius, who can guide us through the complexities of attachment. Stoic philosophy encourages us to reflect deeply on our emotions, to understand them from a distance, and to recognize their fleeting nature and the control we have over them. Think of introspection as navigating a labyrinth. Each turn brings us closer to understanding our attachments to others and ourselves. By illuminating the hidden paths of our feelings, we can see whether our love is based on mutual respect or is simply a need for approval and fear of loneliness. Through deep reflection, we can distinguish genuine affection, which enriches our lives, from dependency, which traps us in cycles of dissatisfaction and desire. This realization is the first step toward emotional freedom and greater maturity and wisdom in relationships. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This aligns with the Stoic belief in examining our emotions, recognizing their transient nature, and choosing our responses. Regular self-examination teaches us about the temporary nature of emotions and our power to decide how to respond. This practice is a powerful tool for freeing ourselves from attachments, guiding us toward growth and self-discovery. How often do we really examine the threads of our relationships? Through introspection, we can unravel the mysteries of our own hearts and navigate relationships with greater authenticity and freedom. Consider this. What can you do today to take a step closer to emotional freedom and a deeper understanding of your attachments? How can you use Stoic principles to better manage your emotional responses? Seneca once said, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage." With this courage, we can face our attachments and relationships with newfound strength and clarity. Through Stoicism, we have a guide to navigate our attachments. The wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus encourages us to reflect on our emotions, understand their essence, and recognize our power over them. This journey of introspection helps us understand our attachments and distinguish between genuine affection and dependency. As we continue, we must remember to reflect on the threads that weave our relationships, using introspection to navigate our connections with authenticity and freedom. Thank you for joining us today. I'm truly grateful to have you as part of our community. Please feel free to share your story or impressions. If you're unsure what to say, simply comment, "I am a newbie," if you've just joined us, or "I am Stoic," if you've been with us for a while. Your engagement not only shows your presence, but also deeply motivates us. Number 7, cultivating inner resilience. Building inner resilience is essential, especially when dealing with challenging relationships, including those with family. Think of yourself as a ship navigating life's sea, sometimes facing rough storms. How do you prepare for these inevitable tempests? Stoicism provides the compass and sails to navigate such challenges. This ancient philosophy teaches us to develop a strong emotional core, enabling us to withstand life's storms. So how do you build this strength, especially with difficult family dynamics? One way is by reflecting on past adversities and recognizing how they've shaped your character. This practice, a key Stoic principle, helps build mental resilience and fosters a calm, composed demeanor during tough times. Imagine a scenario where a young professional, Alex, often clashes with a critical family member. Every holiday gathering feels like a battlefield. Instead of dreading these interactions, Alex uses Stoic exercises, focusing on past challenges they've overcome and using these experiences to build emotional strength. They visualize themselves as a sturdy oak tree, deeply rooted and steady in the face of harsh winds. This mental exercise strengthens their inner resilience, allowing them to remain calm and composed during family disputes. Alex also learns to balance resilience with compassion, avoiding emotional coldness while protecting their well-being. This balance, a critical aspect of Stoic practice, ensures that emotional detachment doesn't mean emotional indifference. How might you apply similar exercises in your life? Consider the moments when you faced adversity, both big and small. How did you react? What did you learn about yourself? Reflecting on these experiences can help you understand your inner strength and build upon it. These reflections, combined with Stoic principles, can guide you in navigating difficult relationships. The beauty of Stoicism lies in its practical application. It's not just about developing a thick skin. It's about cultivating a balanced inner world where resilience coexists with empathy. By embracing this balance, you can navigate challenging relationships without sacrificing your well-being or becoming emotionally cold. It's a delicate balance, but one that can lead to a more peaceful, fulfilling life. The lesson is clear. Developing inner resilience doesn't mean closing off your heart. It means fortifying it with a mix of strength and compassion. This balance is crucial for maintaining healthy relationships while protecting your mental well-being. How might you apply this in your own relationships, particularly with challenging family members? The key is to build a resilient yet compassionate inner core ready to face whatever storms come your way. Number 8. Practicing empathy without attachment. Emotional detachment from family members, especially when it's challenging, is a complex journey. It's tough, filled with ups and downs, but it's also an opportunity for growth. Stoicism, the ancient philosophy, can offer valuable guidance along the way. Stoicism teaches us the importance of inner peace amidst life's chaos, acting as a compass in turbulent emotional waters. When family relationships strain, it's easy to feel trapped by obligation. But the Stoics remind us that true freedom lies in mastering our own thoughts, not in controlling others. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. First, it's crucial to understand our emotional attachments. Often we hold on to ideals and expectations rather than seeing the person for who they are. Stoicism advises us to recognize what's within our control and what's not, freeing us from unnecessary suffering. Acceptance is another key aspect. The Stoics advocated for embracing whatever life throws at us. When dealing with difficult family members, accepting them as they are can relieve the frustration of wishing they were different. Emotional resilience is vital. Stoicism encourages building inner strength through mental discipline and self-reflection. Journaling, for example, helps us identify patterns and triggers, enabling us to respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. Setting boundaries is essential for self-care. The Stoics taught us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. By setting clear boundaries, we protect our mental and emotional well-being. Forgiveness is liberating. The Stoics saw it as a way to release ourselves from anger and resentment, focusing on our own peace of mind rather than seeking revenge. Gratitude shifts our perspective from what we lack to what we have. By embracing gratitude, we detach from toxic attachments and focus on what truly matters. In conclusion, Stoicism provides practical guidance for emotional detachment in complex family relationships. By understanding our attachments, practicing. Number 9. Finding peace in solitude. In today's fast-paced world, where distractions abound, Stoicism teaches us the importance of solitude for finding inner peace and self-reflection. Picture a tranquil space where you can ponder life without interruptions. How often do you get such moments? We'll delve into how embracing solitude can help you detach emotionally from challenging relationships, including those with family. Family bonds can be both fulfilling and complicated. Have you ever felt overwhelmed or stuck in a relationship that brings more pain than joy? Stoicism offers practical guidance for finding clarity and balance through solitude. It's not about cutting off from others, but creating room for yourself to breathe and think. Marcus Aurelius, a prominent Stoic philosopher, once said, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." His words remind us that true peace comes from within. How can you create such a retreat? Solitude lets you step away from the noise and find the calm needed for self-reflection. Stoic practices like journaling and meditation are great tools for this. Ever tried jotting down your thoughts after a tough day? It helps process emotions and clear your mind. Meditation, on the other hand, helps you focus on the present, releasing past regrets and future worries. What insights might you gain from a few minutes of these practices daily? By embracing contentment in solitude, you can break free from unhealthy attachments. It doesn't mean you stop caring about loved ones. It's about building a healthier relationship with yourself. Epictetus, another Stoic, famously said, "Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems." How often do we stress about things beyond our control, especially in relationships? Solitude offers perspective, letting you focus on what you can manage, your thoughts and actions. What if understanding yourself better could improve your connections with others? Solitude fosters self-discovery, teaching you to value your own company and leading to more balanced relationships. How might this shift influence your dealings with challenging family members or friends? In a world that constantly demands your attention, finding moments of peace and solitude is a gift. It recharges you, bringing clarity and purpose to your relationships. As you ponder this, what steps can you take today to embrace solitude and boost your emotional well-being? Exploring solitude and emotional detachment isn't about avoidance, but about facing challenges with a clear mind and a serene heart. The journey toward inner peace begins with a single step, often taken in quiet moments of solitude. How will you start your journey? Today I'll begin by Number 10, embracing our social instinct. In our complex world of relationships, mastering the art of emotional detachment, even within family dynamics, reveals the profound insights of Stoic philosophy, as exemplified by Marcus Aurelius. His teachings offer a pathway to striking a balance that resonates deeply, guiding us towards richer and more meaningful connections. Initially, the Stoic principle of emotional detachment might seem paradoxical, given our inherent social nature. Yet, Marcus Aurelius shows us how to embrace our communal instincts while nurturing healthy detachment. The essence lies in approaching relationships with a thoughtful equilibrium, loving deeply without clinging excessively. This equilibrium acts as a bridge, blending autonomy with empathy, fostering genuine connection. Stoicism encourages us to see others as individuals, honoring their autonomy alongside our need for connection. Emotional detachment, therefore, isn't about withdrawing, but about fostering meaningful relationships while acknowledging our lack of control over others' actions. As Epictetus wisely noted, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This mindset empowers us to approach relationships openly, free from fear and unrealistic expectations. Loving without possessiveness invites genuine appreciation and deeper understanding of others' unique journeys. Embracing this perspective aligns with our innate longing for connection while safeguarding our well-being. The Stoic emphasis on emotional detachment invites us to nurture relationships that honor autonomy, fostering harmony and authenticity. In today's intricate social landscape, Stoic emotional detachment offers a refreshing outlook. It enables us to navigate relationships with balance, building meaningful connections rooted in love, empathy, and emotional independence. Remember, the journey of Stoicism is ongoing. Keep practicing, evolving, and embracing its wisdom. If you found value in this discussion, show your support by liking, subscribing to Daily Stoic 2.0, and hitting the notification bell for more resources on resilient and purposeful living. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Stay safe, stay profound, stay stoic. See you in the next video.